Where Miss Curry and Miss McLean. They could just take the temps and let us know the plan for us. So Miss Bradley can stay
right
there.
there. Check this.
Miss Bradley,
Ma'am.
yeah, let them go. We're going.
Okay. There's a seat right there.
Mm-hmm.
You can try to get a seat right here.
The Newton Municipal School District regular board meeting Thursday, March 11, 2021, 5:30 p.m. in the district boardroom. Our mission statement: all students will graduate from the Newton Municipal School District college or career ready. We are now open for our meeting. First on our agenda is an oath for yours truly.
It's my pleasure to witness.
And it's my pleasure to accept.
Please raise your right hand. I state your name.
Ladera Chapman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully support
that I will faithfully support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi
and obey the laws thereof,
and obey the laws thereof,
that I am not disqualified
that I am not disqualified
from holding the office
from holding this office
of trustee
of trustee
of the Newton Municipal School District.
of the Newton Municipal School District,
That I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of this office
the duties of this office
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's good to be sitting with around this table with you guys, my fellow compadres. We're now down to our election of our school board officers. For our school board officers, we have our president, our vice president. Currently, the president is yours truly, Ladera Chapman. Vice president is Mr. Arthur Nelson. Our secretary is Ms. Shannon Moore. And our assistant secretary is Mr. Dr. Levery. All those positions are now open for nominations, or if it's your pleasure and you would like to keep the same officers, we can do them all at once, or we can do them one by one. It's just whatever the board's pleasure.
Madam President, I'd like to offer a motion that we keep all officers the same for the school year of 2021 and 2022.
You heard. Second. You heard the motion coming from our vice president that all offices remain the same for the 21-22 school year. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys putting your trust back in me to be president. I will strive to do the best job possible and to always be supportive of our school district and our school children and our staff and our community as a whole. We're down to item number 4, approval of A agenda and B minutes for February 8, 2021. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve item number 4A agenda and B minutes for February the 8th, 2021. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Does Mr. Warren? Okay, Mr. Warren hasn't made it yet, so we're going to go down to item number 6 and come back to our bus driver recommendation. Dr. Nixon?
At this time, I would like to present to our New Municipal School District Board of Directors an award that the Mississippi School Board Association It says Attendance Award 2019-2020. This document certifies that the Newton Municipal School District has earned the distinction of Board of Merit, a board whose members have been diligent in assessing opportunities to refine their school governance skills through continuing education, training provided by the Mississippi School Board Association, presented this day, February the 17th, 2021. And I would just like to say it's an honor when our school district and our board of trustees take time to go to trainings so they can oversee our school district in an awesome way. So this is presented to our school board. Thank you. Get a picture of the board.
No, you don't need to have
Okay. To the smell like, let me move.
Whatever it be.
You gonna see her smiling behind the mask.
Here we go. All right.
I'm gonna have on a blue mask.
Dr. Dixon. Dr. Dixon.
Okay, look at, oh, okay.
Man, I had put on a new municipal school district.
Oh, okay.
mask.
Got you.
I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay.
Here we go. Y'all ready? We go 1, 2, 3. Again.
Got it? Okay. Also, on behalf of the Mississippi School Board Association, I would like to present Ms. Lavera Chapman, board member of Newton Municipal School District, with the Mississippi School Board Association Board Development Premier Circle Award. And also, board member, Ms. Alice Dawkins Hopkins. Our son, with the Premier Circle Award. Okay, more pictures.
There we go. 1, 2, 3. And again.
You see me smiling behind the mask?
I did.
And so again, we would like to thank our school board, Mississippi School Board Association, for recognizing our board members. We can go ahead.
And just before you do that, and just know that this flag was a collective effort of all our school board members, and we really appreciate you guys, and we want to do it again next year, or this year.
More.
Thank you. And now that our honoree is here, we'll go back to item number 4, Dr. Nixon.
Okay. I've been here. They want to come around and stay okay? Y'all can stand up over here. Come on in, family. It has been an honor to serve as Newton Municipal School District Superintendent. But as my journey here continues, the history here is just amazing. And we have a young man in the house tonight. A young man in the house tonight that I am so privileged to know and to get to know, guys. He's just awesome. Before we recognize him, I just want to share a little bit about him that I've experienced just recently. When the buses line up in the afternoons, I wave at them and I go and talk with them. And so one day I was on a cane because my knee was hurt. And he said, "What is it, Doc?" I said, "My knee hurt." Wait a minute. I said, "My knee hurt." Just how my face looked. I said, "It hurt." He said, "Well, I said, "But I'm going to be okay." He said, "Yeah, you're going to be okay." He left on his route, came back. It was after 4. Heard a knock on the door. It was him. He brought me some Lanacane. He said, "Use this, it'll help." And he said, "I use it. I said, "Mr. Moore, you ain't have to bring me that." He said, "Use it." That's just how attentive he is. So if he's attentive to me that way, I can just only imagine how attentive he is to his family. And so it's just an honor for us to be here tonight to recognize him for 60 years of service to Newton Municipal School District. And I have a little comment that I'm going to say for a little later on. But at this time, I'm gonna turn it over to our board president. She has a token that we would like to give to you.
Stand up, Reverend Moore.
Come on.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moore, when I hear that you have been here and driving the bus for 60 years, that just touched my heart so much, to know that you care so much about our school district and our children. And I want to tell you, my grandchildren told me, they said, he is the best bus driver. They said all his kids on that bus know how to act. They're very mannerable. He didn't have any problems with his route. We appreciate you and we thank you, and we're so glad that you've decided to continue to be with us and to drive that bus for us. Thank you so much. This is a plaque and it says, with our deepest appreciation, we hereby honor Purvis Moore with this gift and recognition for your unconditional commitment and enduring dedicated service for 60 years.
Right here, you
I'm
go.
gonna give you that too. This is from the board of directors. Thank you.
All right, here we go. All three. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Here we go. And
Now this man deserves a standing ovation.
Don't not that. Someone hold that family, come hold this for.
Here, we'll take this. I have to see your family for you. Okay.
Okay, stand right here, face your family.
Hold on.
Okay. It is with great pleasure that tonight we present this gesture of thanks, honoring a person that has been significant in giving to the Newton Municipal School District for 60 years. This key is to the Newton Municipal School District, giving an official recognizing Mr. Purvis Moore's contribution of service to our great school district. Mr. Moore, we trust you with this key and acknowledge that you have the freedom to enter our district as a true friend and servant of the Newton Municipal School District from this day forward School District, presented to Purvis Moore March 11, 2021, for 60 years of dedicated service.
Thank you.
And guys, please, this is not a retirement recognition. This is just 60 years. He's gonna continue to go. Okay. While I was here, like I said, I've learned the history. We went and started digging in his folder. And we found out that back in the 60s and 70s, he made $200 a month. $200 a month. And so on behalf of that,
All right now.
from the Newton Municipal School District family, it's not 200, but that was back then. So we had to do a little more now. But I want you to know that the Newton Elementary School, they love you, and they kept sending money. They said they sent that $200 plus some. That's just from elementary school. But we want to present you, our goal was $600 for 60 years. But in here you have that plus. Forever, like I said, you have been just a true testament, and I want to keep you safe. You have just been a true testament, and it's a pleasure for me to see you up there on that bus and to wave at you every day. And I love you. Okay, we're gonna ask if you have something to say. I want to thank his family for coming and our staff for supporting on tonight, and it has been a true pleasure. But wait a minute, let me give him a picture with you now. 60 years, we're gonna send this to the Guinness Book of World Records. 60 years, hey, okay, I'm gonna let you hold this side. We ain't gonna show everybody that. They don't need to know your business like that.
That looks good.
Okay. Would you like to say anything, Mr. Moore?
Well, I always like to sing a little verse of the song. It is said, I got a mind to live for Jesus all of my days. I got a mind to live for Jesus all of my days. The Lord been good to me. He opened doors that I couldn't see. I got a mind to live for Jesus all of my days.
Did you dance? And I'm gonna forget this. Put that on a lock and key. There you go. With his family, have anyway. We have his daughters here and grandchildren and any of you like to. Wait. Oh, she's sitting there smiling. You have a word you like to say? 60 years. 60 years. Family, anyone would like to say anything?
Just really proud of my dad. I love him to death. My children love him to death. He's an awesome person. And I'm so proud of you right now. I had to lie to get him up here. I made like it was for me. Because he's really smart. He put two and two together. I said, Dad, what you doing Thursday? Around 5:45. Look what you got. I said, well, I got a dedication coming up for me at the central office. They want me to come, and I want you to come to be there to support me. And she said, okay. Okay, so I hung up and called Pam. I said, don't tell him. It's for him. Make sure he got on some nice clothes. So that's how we got him up here. And I appreciate it. I thank y'all for appreciating my dad. He's a great person.
Amen. Thank you so much. At this time, we turn it back into the hands of our board president. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And we're going to drop y'all. Brandon, if you would get a family picture as well.
Thank you, brother.
Just leave it crack so we can, they gonna go outside. They should, but just be close it up. There you go.
Y'all stay right there and then go together.
They gonna go outside.
Okay, back to the matters at hand. We're down to item number 7, public input. Is there any?
None.
No public input. We're down to item number 8, our consent agenda, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Is there any item that you would like removed from our consent agenda for discussion? If not, Dr. Nixon?
I ask that the consent agenda items A, B, C, D, E, and F be approved.
You heard the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 8, A, B, C, D, E, and F. So I get a motion, please.
Motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of our consent agenda item number 8, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Any questions? If not,
I'm sorry, Madam President. With respect to the major designs report, just ask that be attached to the minutes.
you do that? Thank you. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're down to item number nine, approval of A claims docket A and B, B financial report, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and C, opening of the public funds, interest checking account, 16 section funds. Dr. Nixon?
Claims docket A and B. One item is on claim docket B was Copper Top. That was they have completed, 80% completed the middle school, and they will be moving on to the high school during spring break. But also attached with the major design report, we wanted to share with you how Copper Top provides their information for payment. And so it's very detailed, it goes into a lot of detail, and so we appreciate that. And so there's no other questions on claims docket A or B, I will turn it over to Ms. Hicks.
Good evening. Here's my questions on the claims doc, and I'll just go over the financial reports. The first one is the cash balance statement, and one thing I would like to just kind of call your attention to is the athletic fund. I know it's a negative balance, but there's been some revenue that will come in this month that'll show up on the March statement. That's why, it's like this large amount, but that was that. So that's the main thing I want to call your attention to on that. The other ones are mostly the federal funds that has to.
I have a question about that athletic fund. With COVID and all of that, the revenue that we typically gain from, attendance, how substantial, or do you have any type of figures as far as what we typically get for the athletic fund versus?
I can pull that report for you. It has gone down a lot because of the games and the amount, because the attendance was limited. But I can pull you a report of the revenue from last year compared to this year and give you a comparison, side-by-side comparison.
Okay. Is the budget for each sport still the same?
No.
Or does it depend on game?
No, I adjusted it when I did the proposed budget for the year. I adjusted it. But one thing that doesn't change, it doesn't matter how many people are in attendance, you still got to have the same security and all that. So that some of the cost doesn't go down. It remains the same. So that's why, they have to still pay the referees and the security. So that doesn't change.
And equipment as well. I'm hearing that they're lacking equipment in certain areas.
Right.
And I'm wondering if it had anything to do with gate revenue, or did it have to do with adjustment in the budget?
Well, there are some adjustments, but one thing we talked about when we do the budget, and we're having our budget meetings, they're ongoing now, is that we ask them to give us a list or wish list of things that they want, and we try to put as much of it in the budget as possible. But a lot of the athletics require the revenue. It relies on the revenue that they bring in. But we do try to add some money, startup cash in the budget for them.
How does that work when it comes to an incoming coach versus, let's just say, if a coach quits this year and he's not presenting a wish list, so the new coach comes in with nothing, or does he come in?
Well, we still kind of base it on the previous year, but we also have a principal there as well. So we confer with them, and it's more than one coach. Usually the athletic director, and we get the input of the coach. But the athletic director oversees it all, so they all have an input in it. And then they just pass it on. The coaches give it to the athletic director. So if they're in the absence of a coach or athletic director, then one of the others stand in, plus the principal. The principal has a budget for the school. But they're also, now keep in mind, they're also, even though we see the revenue for the athletic fund, they're also given a budget in that school's budget.
So, you know, the high school, there's a line item in that budget for athletics as well.
And that's for all the athletes, the baseball, softball, basketball.
Trying to think. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine,
I'm
that's
just trying to get an
fine. Yeah, I want
understanding.
you to ask questions, because you have
From the public,
questions.
I
Yes,
want to be
I
able to
do.
answer, and I want to be able to answer correctly,
Right.
so.
Okay. And that'll be a good conversation also to have with the athletic director to find out what recommendations they're making, you know, and what they need or what their plans are, because they know, because sometimes they do fundraisers to buy some of that equipment, so that would be a good conversation to have with the athletic director as well.
And I was gonna say, maybe we can invite him to, one of our meetings and he can,
To
explain.
get a little bit more as
Yeah.
to.
How his budget and everything works with his business.
I think right now it's a communication thing going on, because some of them don't know that they have that other option.
Right.
So they don't know that they can go to that other
Right.
pot. They only think that it's one pot, and they think that that pot is empty, so they're out there going and getting.
And that is a conversation I did have with Coach Porter this year, to explain to him and show him what he has in the athletic budget and also what's listed in the high school budget.
And when we have when they submit what they would like, and it's one, you know, we all like a lot. But if we purchase, the district has purchased, you know, one outfit, and then it comes, we want 2 outfits. Okay, well, we just purchased 1 outfit, so we have to prioritize. So we can't get everything we want every year, but that's why we're really particular now, about you have to evaluate your programs, so you will know what you need. You can't, you know, it's not always feasible and effective to come in the middle of the sport and say, oh yeah, by the way, we needed this. When we are asking now, we've been asking for your budget items since December, January, February. What do you need? Go back and evaluate, and we communicate with the directors. So we're not going out communicating with the coaches or the teachers or the bus drivers. We're dependent on the directors and the principals to bring that information to us. And so if it's something out there that a particular sport is needing, they communicate that with the director, and then he comes to us. But I promise you, if they are needing something, Ms. Hicks and I, we sit, we amend budgets, we move monies around, because we will not have our students lacking and our students needing. But if we don't know the need, and they're sharing the need with you and not with us, then I don't know the need.
It's not necessarily them as much as it is the community, the kids that actually pay, the parents are coming to us, you know, especially with our spring sports, and this is not something that just happened this year. It continues every year we start hearing with our our fall sports, we never hear anything from our parents, but from our spring sports.
They tear us down.
They,
If you would ask them to call me, if you would just, whatever
Ask the parents
concerns, ask the parents to call. I take all parent phone calls, and I would share with them what's going on or how it's going on. Last year, right at this time, school shut down. And at that time, we were in conversations with the athletic director about our baseball field and track and things. And we said, well, we need a new dressing room, and we need fencing, and we need lighting. And we had all those things listed, but Corona came and slowed down the momentum. But those things are still on the list to be taken care of. And so with the pandemic, and I shared this with the everyone in the district, I said, okay, enough with the pandemic, we gotta push through the pandemic, you know, and continue moving forward. But if you would just have them to call us, and we will share with them what we have going on. They may not be able to see it all at once, but we are supplying and providing what our students need. But it was so, I ain't gonna say it was massive, but it was a lot, and we just can't do it all at one time. But the students will have balls to throw, they will have uniforms to wear. We prepared all the lighting, so when the field lights up, it looks like Friday night lights. And so the fences, so it's things that we're doing, but we can't do it all at once. But if they would call us, I would be more than happy to share it with them.
I'd just like to add, injury to the insult, I guess, for lack of a better word at this moment. As parents, we still have a responsibility as well.
No, we don't.
We have a responsibility to make sure that our kids have what they need as well. There is no school except Newton Municipal School District that goes above and beyond regarding different programs, athletics that do what the school does. You go to other schools, they got to pay money up front. And if they don't pay that money, them kids are not going to participate. So I'm just saying that, yes, a conversation needs to be had, but parents need to understand also they need to take some responsibility too, because if my child is playing softball or baseball, and I agree with everything you said about the spring sports, for some reason they just get left behind. They get left behind. What is going on? I don't understand that. And I also think that comes with leadership. And when I said leadership, I'm talking about coaches. You have to have people that in that place that's going to be some go-getters. Because guess what? If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, the programs have to kind of sustain themselves as well. So, you know, it's going to take a collaborative effort of everybody, but I don't want it to be as though we're blaming the coaches, the school, or whatever, because parents have a responsibility in everything that's going on. Everything is going on. That's my little 2 cents, I'm done.
We will ask the athletic director and the spring sport coaches to have a Zoom meeting with parents, and they can tell them what's going on and also answer their questions. So we'll set that up after spring break.
Because, you know, a lot of parents are the coach's concerns. And like I told them, well, you need to go to your administration. It's the field, especially the baseball field, you know. But that, like you said, that's something that you don't wait till the last minute to start trying to get it done. You should know that this should be done, and you should already have a place to go to your athletic director and tell them, hey, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. How can we do it? What can we do? And what can we get our money from?
And we have with our baseball and softball, all of the coaches are new. This is their first year. And so they're learning the steps, they're learning the processes. And it's one young man on the baseball team, he comes and he said, I just want to know what do I do? How do I do this step? And so he's eager and he's very aggressive because he has a passion for it. And we've assured him, if you need it, just come and tell us, and we're going to make sure that you have it, and we're going to, you know, make sure that you get what you need for your team. And so all 3 of the coaches are new, and the athletic director is meeting with them, going over processes, going over the proper way to ask for stuff, the proper way to get what you need, and you know, you have to get permission before you do this. You know, you can't, you know, collect money in your own, that, you know, so, but they're new, and so that's part of our training and helping them through it. When I tell you they are aggressive and eager, and they want what's best, and so do we. And we are working together.
And I know that to be true, because my son is on the junior varsity team. And I'm a parent that's coming in from city league experience. I had to pay for everything. So I understand, you know, about paying. And I offered. Just tell me where I need to go to order his uniform, because I'll pay for it. Because I paid for it for the past 6-7 years already. But he wants it to be uniform, and I just step back. But he knows that I'm sitting there. And every parent is not going to offer. You're not going to have every parent offering. But they're going to offer their 2 cents.
Typically, same parent that don't come to the game is the one.
Right.
Well, if you would refer them back to the school, and we will set up that meeting with the coaches.
And I know we talked about this here maybe last year, year before last. But I don't know if the coaches, whenever they distribute the uniforms out, do they make sure that they get the uniforms back? Because a lot of times you see these kids walk around with the uniform on. So that's another reason, you know, the coaches need to make sure they get those uniforms back and those students don't turn those uniforms in. Okay, what can we do legally to ensure those uniforms get turned back in?
Make them sign a release.
Because it's hurting the district.
I know Miss Wilson, I know when my son was playing football and he used his jersey to take his senior portrait. Miss Wilson called me and tracked that football uniform down and I made sure to bring it back. So I know Miss Wilson checked for uniform, on the uniforms because she tracked me down to get that jersey back to the school. So.
But on the other hand, my daughter played softball and she got mad at the coach and she decided she was gonna take the uniform home. And she got it to the house and I said, you don't get your, if it don't get back down there, you ain't gonna be.
But see, they do the switch.
Yeah, she did that, you know.
They gotta make sure they get it back to the school.
So that's just something, you know, in my opinion, the coaches need to ensure that they have some type of tracking system regarding the uniforms and stuff, and make sure that they take them up at the end of the season.
I would take all of this back to the athletic director and have him set up those Zoom meetings, and also he can come to the next board meeting and we'll have them present.
Great.
Thank you.
Can they have an inventory list? I don't know if I can speak to them.
They do. They don't. I know.
The next thing is the budget status statement, and it basically just gives you the status of the budget. At this time, we're over halfway for the fiscal year, and pretty much, you know, we're in good standing, except, you know, the ones that's over is one that's exceeded, like the building and bus, that's our loan payments and paid, so those are just a one-time payment. And then the school recognition, that's done once a year, but pretty much everything else is right at 60% or less. The ESSER, the emergency relief ESSER fund is 79%, but we got that through the end of next year, so and then we're about to get another pot, so that's why that is. The next, then you have your revenue, the revenues and expenditures, and it shows that what came in for the month and what went out, and this is for the month of February. The cash revenue that came in for the month. Then you have your cash flow, which is district maintenance cash flow statement. And that's just that's the district main operating account that that shows for each month. It shows the revenues in, and then the payments that are going out, which is accounts payable. And then our ending balance is that amount, 1.2. And then you have your statement of fund balances. And those are individual funds, which is not necessarily cash, but what those balances may be from due tos and due froms from other accounts or due in for reimbursement, because a lot of our, especially our federal programs or cash are reimbursable, that we expend the money, then we request the cash to put it in. So that's the cash balance. That is the fund balance. And if you look at it on the last page, you'll see that our fund balance, which is 2.3, which is well over the required 7% of our budget. Any questions on the financials?
I have a quick question. The Avalon, what does that big payment for the Avalon tax, what is that doing?
So repeat that out.
The Avalon tax? When is that big payment coming in?
It usually come in January, February, but this year it was much smaller. It was, yeah. It usually be well over $1 million, and this time it was like 300,000. Yeah, it was.
There'll be more trickling in over there.
I was looking at it, because they get these extra funds, so it'll probably go.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why is this year, the penalty for late payment usually starting in February, you start with 1% penalty on your payment. It's a 0.5% for the first few months of the year now.
Okay.
So
It's a state law, check.
that, well, just because.
Oh, cause of the
Yeah.
But also, cause of code, you can get a new car as well.
Yeah, because I noticed that, you know, you get that real big payment, and then it's like, wow, but it wasn't, it didn't happen this year, so. You know, rapidly, because, but that's one thing that you can account for at the end of the year when you do your reconciliation. You can do like a shortfall if you don't meet what we expect to come in, so. And the final thing is, the opening of the, public interest account. You know, you all voted back for us to separate the 16th section funds to open up an account. So we got the information, we're ready to open the account, but they needed a statement signed by the board to say exactly the account. What it is going to be 2 accounts. One is going to be for the principal of the 16th section revenue, and the other one is for the interest only. So that way we keep it in, because you can, the board can vote for the district to utilize some of the interest if we have to, but by having it all in one account, it was recommended that we separate it, because when the interest come in, if you have it all in one account, then you're gonna be earning interest on interest, and there's no way to separate it. So that's why we, choosing to open up 2 separate accounts, and it'd be in the same form as the accounts that we have now on our other accounts. So we just get the approval of the board to do that.
I had asked about this years ago and was told that it was okay to keep it together, but I knew that it needed to be separated.
Because that's something we keep, the auditors keep hitting us on, so.
But how did it? I'm glad we got it done now. Thank you
Yes.
so very much.
Any other questions? Any questions? Other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
So at this time, I recommend for the approval of claims docket A and B, financial report, and letter C, the opening of public funds interest checking account 16 section funds.
You hear the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 9A, claims docket A and B financial report 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And number C, opening of public funds interest checking account for our 16 section funds. Can I get a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from our superintendent regarding approval of A, claims docket A and B, B, financial report 1 through 5, and C, opening public funds interest checking account 16 section fund.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 9A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and C. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We're down to item number 10, personnel, A, B, C, D, and E. Dr. Nixon.
For personnel, I ask for the approval of item A, B, and C.
I think we may need to
Separate them, okay. If you look at your amended ones, the first one, item A. No, it's gonna be the second page. The first one you have is item B, certified administrators and directors and certified staff. It's this one here. It was on the agenda item personnel. Okay.
Okay, we're doing classified first, right?
We can do classified first.
It's in your phone.
I think the
Look in your
new
blue
one
folder. Look in
replaces,
your blue folder.
the one the blue folder replaces the one that was.
Blue card.
Classified.
That's it, Mr. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna classify. I ask for the approval of our classified staff, classified support staff, also our food service, teacher assistants, maintenance and custodial, and bus drivers. For which one?
Classified.
Teacher assistant, okay.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Actually, two of them.
What other one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, number 8, and
8.
Numbers beside it.
Oh, and the one above, 1456.
1456
Mhm.
and
1669.
Okay, well, we'll prove them along with the exception of those two, and then we'll let you choose yourself. Will that work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sorry, Anthony.
That's fine, okay. Approval of our classified support staff, our food service, our teacher assistants with the exception of 1456 and 1669, our maintenance and custodial, as well as our bus drivers. And I would, for under maintenance and custodial, I would like to leave off 1657 for additional discussion, probably go into executive session on
16 what?
1657 under maintenance and custodial. And then also bus drivers. That's all the classified staff.
Okay, let's see if we can keep this right.
That's a lot.
I'm gonna go with y'all say.
You hear the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 10A, 2021-2022, classified support staff, food service, teachers, assistants with the exception of 1456 and 1669, and maintenance custodial with the exception of 1657, and our bus drivers. Can I get a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from our superintendent regarding personnel, 2021-2022, classified support staff, food service, teacher assistants to exclude 1456, 1669, maintenance custodial to exclude 1657, bus drivers.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10A, 2021-2022, classified, all those stated, classified support, food service, teacher, assistants with the exception of 1456 and 1669, and our maintenance custodial with the exception of 1657, and our bus drivers. Are there any other questions?
Question, on these, the maintenance and custodial staff, I see asterisks beside a couple of names. Is there a reason for that? I don't see them.
On 1713, on that first copy that we gave you, we did not move her up a step. And so if you look at the one we sent out in the packet, the original is going to be one step less because we had to move her up a step. And then the same with 1336, we didn't move him up a step, and so we went back and moved him up a step.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All in favor, vote by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll discuss 1456 and 1669.
At this time, I ask for the approval.
Yeah.
Shut the door.
Don't go out that door.
Yeah.
Don't shut.
Shut the door.
Oh, okay.
The door.
Or just, yeah.
I ask for the approval of classified personnel 1456 and 1669.
You hear the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 10A, 2021-2022, classified teachers assistants 1456 and 1669. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
It's been motioned and moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10A 2021-2022 classified teachers assistant, item 1456 and 1669. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Moore?
Ms. Moore, you can take it.
Now, Dr. Nixon will go down to, the custodial 1657.
Or do we want to go through the rest of it and then?
Oh, you wanted to do
Yeah.
that?
Okay. Item B, certified staff, those are administrators and directors. And then the certified teaching staff are those that were now approved at the March meeting. We have one teacher, $16.99. You approved this page.
The first page you can do that.
Right. You had it, Mr. Nelson.
I had it, I know.
This is that first
I
page,
got it.
administrators and directors, and then certified staff, okay? Certified staff, $16.99. You approved her in February, but she had a letter upgrade, and so we need to approve her again for her AA. And for our administrators and directors, I shared with you the salary information sheet, so you won't see them. So at this time, I ask for the approval of the administrators and directors as well as the current certified staff.
You hear the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 10B 2021-2022 certified administrators and directors and certified staff. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10B 2021-2022 certified staff and administrators and directors. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Letter C, these are new hires, certified staff as well as classified. I ask for the approval of the new hires. As teachers, tutor, janitor, and sub-bus driver.
You heard the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number C, new hire, certified and classified. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10C, new hire, certified and classified. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next one is a recommendation for new positions for the upcoming school year. As we go through our needs for our district and listening to the directors and principals, these are positions that that we would like to search for. I want to get your approval on the positions, even though you may not fill them, but I did want you to give permission to search for it. That would be a counselor at this point. You know, we have one counselor to serve in both schools, but with COVID and all the additional responsibilities for social emotional learning, anxiety, depression, it's becoming that this here position needs to be separated. However, it will be funded through ESSER 2 funds as well as federal funds, not this year.
So this is for, a counselor and for math and ELA instruction and coaches.
Yes, and the coaches will assist us with not having to use the consultant groups as often, because we'll have our ELA and math coaches in the district all the time that can assist with our principals and our teachers with instruction and all the things that they need. So it should, it'll help us with not having to use consultant groups as much. And again, this will be paid with ESSER 2 funds as well as federal funds. Starting off.
Which school would the counselor be in?
The middle and high.
Middle and the high school?
Yeah, we'll have one middle and one high school.
And the elementary?
The elementary counselor, they already have one. Right now, we have one counselor serving both schools.
Gotcha.
And we have a few more positions that we're looking at, providing our middle school and our high school principals with some administrative support. We have, several in our district now that's going through our leadership program with Dr. Carter. And so we have some candidates that's ready to serve in those roles. And so we are exploring how they can best serve those schools at the high school as well as the middle school to provide some administrative support. And they will be our own. We're growing our own. So I will bring that to you. And on personnel, I will share this. On last year, you approved us to have interventionists in the schools. We had an elementary math and ELA interventionist, and then the middle school had a math and ELA interventionist. And I'm happy to say that 3 of the 4 have their teacher license now, and will be coming before you as recommendation. Actually, you just approved one. And the 2 that serve at the middle school will be licensed in May. And so you will also be hopefully approving them for an ELA and a math position in our schools. So again, that's part of our Grow Our Own initiative.
Thank you. You heard the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 10B, 2021-2022 position recommendations for counselor and math and ELA instructional coach. Motion, please.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation from our superintendent regarding item D under personnel 2021-2022 position recommendations for counselor at Powell Middle School and math and ELA instructional coaches.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10D, 2021-2022 position recommendations for counsel and math and ELA instructional coaches. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item E, we have 2 teachers retiring. So I ask for the approval to accept their resignation letters, retirement letters.
You heard the recommendation coming from our superintendent for approval of item number 10E, retiring and resignation letters from 2 teachers. Could I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second. It's been moved and second that we accept our superintendent's recommendation for approval of item number 10E, retiring and resignation from 2 teachers. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. At this time, I'd like to, if someone would, give us a motion that we go into closed session to discuss the need to go into executive session.
Madam President, motion that we go into closed session and determine the need for executive session.
Second. It's been moved and second that the board go into closed session to discuss the need to go into executive session. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The board is momentarily in closed session.